culture.
My culture, my heritage. I'm proud of the land of the forefathers, land of Mkomote, Mount Kiloma West, Banaman Torako. My culture, my heritage. I'm proud of the land of the forefathers, land of Mkomote, Mount Kiloma West, Banaman Torako. Oh, waka poor and decent young in the forever. Oh, poor and decent young in the forever. Waka poor and locked on me again, go for one is about. I think I want to hear me by like a my chin the poor. Oh, waka poor and go for one about my lip chin the poor. Yeti o capone chin or Zambio. Yeti o capone chin or Zambio. Babu said you back on an edging a Leo. Babu said you back on an edging a Leo.
Tumanali
One of Comote, as a Como win away, as a Mike Yam. Yellow to Chumok, a Cocuya Lizo Pool, Kanganyam no sweet. Go out by one or one hour you want to win. You
Sticks. In the mountains of northwest Cameroon lies.
The workplace is changing faster than ever before.
Whether you work in healthcare, education, law, content creation, insurance, real estate, human resources, accounting, or nursing, AI is becoming part of your everyday job.
The question isn't whether AI is coming. It's whether you'll be ready. At Certified AI Academy, we teach practical AI skills through live, interactive classes led by experienced instructors. Learn the tools employers are already using today. Invest in yourself. Learn AI now, or someone who already has learned will be used to replace you. Certified AI Academy is now enrolling for our July session. Seating is limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. Call or text 346-271-0711 today and secure your future. Grab your opportunity now.
Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to News Talk with yours truly, Chris Adu, coming to you as usual from the great state of Texas, Houston, Texas to be precise. I'm quite excited coming to you today with what is turning out to be a very special event, with Issa Tchiroma, the man who believes he won the 2025 La République du Cameroon's presidential election. For the first time, Issa Tchiroma wants to address Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, and that event is taking place tomorrow. In the course of this show, we will be able to bring you the connection links to the Zoom virtual town hall. Now, I have nothing to do with the town hall for full disclosure purposes. I have nothing to do with the town hall, but of course, I am not in any way opposed to it. I think we need to dialogue with as many people as possible and maybe, who knows, build alliances if that becomes necessary. But that will be the main subject of my coming to you tonight. Besides that, I will take you to La République du Cameroon's Yaoundé, where they are generous. Something is happening in Etudi. Etudi is suddenly becoming very afraid of the generals who kept them in power and ensured they stayed in power committed the atrocities they committed over the years. They are now not sure which general to trust out there. That will be the beginning of this. That will be the first story for this show, and then I will bring you some images coming from Ground Zero, talking about the funeral of the patriot, Ambassador Henry Folsom. I believe many have forgotten about that chapter because not much was said about it. The family did not say much about it. They kind of quietly took the corpse home, buried him in his residence, at his residence in Boya. So we're going to bring you some videos and get somebody who was there to tell us exactly what happened. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. So please stay put. We'll be right back. And when I come back, I take you right to La République du Cameroon's Yaoundé. What is happening with the generals? I'll be right back.
The workplace is changing faster than ever before.
Whether you work in healthcare, education, law, content creation, insurance, real estate, human resources, accounting, or nursing, AI is becoming part of your everyday job.
The question isn't whether AI is coming. It's whether you'll be ready. At Certified AI Academy, we teach practical AI skills through live, interactive classes led by experienced instructors. Learn the tools employers are already using today. Invest in yourself. Learn AI now, or someone who already has learned will be used to replace you. Certified AI Academy is now enrolling for our July session. Seating is limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. Call or text 346-271-0711 today and secure your future. Grab your opportunity now. The workplace is changing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks once more for staying put out there. At this moment, I will take you to my first talking point for the night, and that has to do with the general in Yaoundé who doesn't want to walk away from power. Do you remember, ladies and gentlemen, do you remember, na caterpillar go move me for ya? Na caterpillar go move me for you. You remember who said that? Of course, that was Paul Biya. Guess what? Now the generals are cooperating from the master. He says, na caterpillar, he will move he for his position because he is not sure if the decree signed and announced by CRTV retiring him was signed by Paul Biya. And so he says, in the absence of Paul Biya, na caterpillar, you go move you. Let me bring you that talking point, ladies and gentlemen, and from there we will move to the subject of Issa Tchiroma. Issa Tchiroma. So please stay put for that while I bring you this monologue on the subject of this general refusing to go on retirement until Paul Biya is back and assure him he signed the decree. There is perhaps no political phrase more symbolic of Paul Biya's 4 decades in power than the famous expression attributed to him, na caterpillar go move me for ya. In plain English, that message was unmistakable. Only a bulldozer, he said, could remove him from office. For years, that statement became more than a joke. It became the governing philosophy of a political system where retirement seemed optional. Succession was a taboo, and public office was treated less as a constitutional responsibility than a lifetime possession. Today, Cameroon finds itself confronting the irony of that statement. President Biya has now spent weeks away from the country in Geneva. Switzerland, where government officials insist he continues to govern despite mounting questions about his prolonged absence and his ability to personally oversee state affairs. The uncertainty has fueled intense political speculation inside and outside the country. And then came another extraordinary controversy. A report circulating in Cameroon suggests that a very senior military officer, the one you find on your screen, called Major General Hector Marie Chemo, in his 80s, reportedly questioned the authenticity of a presidential decree announcing his retirement over CRTV. He is arguing that President Biya did not personally sign the decree. While the circumstances remain disputed, the episode has ignited debate over who truly exercises authority inside the presidency during the president's prolonged stay abroad. On July 28, the presidential decree read on CRTV and later confirmed by the civil cabinet of the presidency admitted General Chemo to the deuxième section, the former status for retiring senior officers from active duty while retaining rank, uniform rights, and certain privileges. This occurred while President Biya, 93 years old, remains out of the country for over 50 days. News reports and social media circulating from around July 29 claim that General Chemo continued reporting to his office the next day and carried on with his usual activities. That he contested the decree's authenticity, saying it did not come from Paul Biya, given the president's prolonged absence. General Chemo said the decree was possibly the work of another authority. Some sources specifically pointed to Ferdinand Ngongo. These accounts explain his refusal to retire based on allegations that the letter or decree was forged or unauthorized. Today, Friday, the Ministry of Defense issued a statement firmly denying the refusal report. It described General Chemo as a servant of absolute loyalty, whose moral rigor and fidelity to Republican orders are unwavering, and stated that he accepted his retirement with full dignity. However, there hasn't been any independent confirmation of a public statement directly from General Chemo himself. He was, ladies and gentlemen, the Major General, effectively the number 2 at the État-Major des Armées, pardon my French, that means General Staff of the Armed Forces, serving under Chief of Staff René Claude Maker, who is 87 and still serving. Still serving, not retired yet, ladies and gentlemen. If the report of General Chemo refusing to retire ultimately proves accurate, the political symbolism would be impossible to ignore. The philosophy of "now only caterpillar go move me for ya" would have found its perfect disciple. If the president cannot retire me, that's what he is saying, then nobody can. William Shakespeare once observed that the king dies, but the kingdom lives on. Cameroon appears trapped inside a different political tragedy. Here, power risks forgetting the king long before the kingdom is prepared to acknowledge his absence. That is what makes this episode so politically fascinating. Because the real story may not be about one general refusing retirement. The larger question is this: who inside Etude is afraid of the generals? If it turns out that a retirement decree was indeed issued without the president's direct approval, what purpose would such a move serve? One possible explanation is perfectly ordinary administrative confusion in that case. Another, far more political interpretation is that competing factions could be attempting to reshape the military hierarchy ahead of an uncertain succession. Again, there is no public evidence here proving such a scenario. But in politics, they say, perception often travels faster than confirmation. Cameroon is experiencing an unusually delicate moment. President Biya's prolonged absence, the reintroduction of the vice presidency without an appointee, delayed government formation since elections in October, and visible tensions over succession have created an atmosphere in which almost every administrative decision is viewed through a political lens. And whenever succession becomes uncertain, one institution inevitably attracts attention. That is the military. History teaches that governments facing leadership transitions often seek absolute confidence in the chain of command. Could that explain the timing of controversial personnel decisions? Could someone be attempting to ensure complete control over the armed forces before events overtake politics? Or are Cameroonians simply witnessing the inevitable confusion that follows whenever power becomes increasingly centralized around one individual? Ironically, the controversy also exposes a deeper truth about Cameroon's political culture. For decades, authority has been personalized rather than institutionalized. Officials often obey the man more than the office. The consequence is predictable. When uncertainty surrounds the man, uncertainty spreads throughout the institution. Even retirement becomes negotiable. Even signatures become political. Even decrees become subjects of national debate. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson from this unfolding drama. Strong institutions are designed to function regardless of who occupies the highest office. Systems built around one individual eventually discover that uncertainty at the top produces uncertainty everywhere else. The old saying, "Na caterpillar go move me for ya," may once have sounded like the ultimate declaration of political invincibility. Today, it carries a different meaning. It reminds Cameroonians that when leaders refuse to prepare for orderly transitions of power, everyone else eventually begins refusing to move as well. And that is that talking point, ladies and gentlemen. I am being joined by Barrister Harmony Bobga joining me from Maryland, and Atta Mucha also joining. Barrister, yeah, good. I thought your camera was down. All right. It's a great pleasure having you back. Let's dwell a little bit on this subject before we transition to the main subject of the day. Centralize your message, please, Barrister Bobga. Centralize your camera, please. Centralize your image and camera. Move slightly to, no, the other side. Perfect. All right. Great to have you, sir.
Yes, please. Thank you for having me.
All right. And again, we are also being joined by Atta Mucha. Pleasure having you back here, sir.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me, and greetings to my senior brother, Senior Barrister.
Wonderful. Briefly, let us do a little bit. Let's have a brief conversation on what is happening in Yaoundé. I have always said that whatever happens in La République du Cameroon affects the way we prosecute the Ambazonian independence crusade. What do you make of the absence for 50 days of the president and a major general at 84 saying, I am not sure the decree announcing my retirement is coming from the right source. I'm not sure the president signed onto it. It must be some plot like the CRTV coup plot coming from some privileged individuals. Barrister Bobga, you are a lawyer. Let me start with you, sir.
Well,
Yes,
I
go
can
on.
tell you, my knowledge of the Constitution of the Republic of Cameroon is that there is no constitutional limit to the length of time that the president of that country can be out of his country. That one is a given. And of course, I think it flows from the fact that constitutionally, the Republic of Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, that had its independence on the 1st of January 1960, had progressively grown and crystallized under Biya into a constitutional monarchy. And, you know, if Biya for 40-something years has been on his throne that he created, he would not contradict himself by putting a limit to when he can go to Europe and stay, because he can even rule Cameroon, or he has ruled Cameroon from Europe. This is not the first time that, using another prism, he has been unreasonably absent from office. The only things that exist under their constitution is the question of incapacity. And you remember when Eric Chinje once interviewed President Paul Biya over CRTV, and he responded that, I can shake my head like this and you disappear. It was about somebody commenting on his health condition, which is a no-no. Because commenting in his health condition was like telling him that you could, on account of your failing health, be out of office. And Biya psychologically does not see himself out of office even from his grave. So I think that's a moot point that does not require much debate anymore, because it has been beaten not just to pulp, but to powder.
Well, this is what I guess what is happening is part of the succession struggle within the elite in Yaoundé. Let me ask Ato, what do you think is happening within the ranks of the military in Yaoundé? Because we know this guy is 84 and his supervisor, Claude Maker, is 87 and is not on retirement.
Thank you. I would say something is seriously wrong in Cameroon. Like Barrister just said, Paul Biya has normalized his absence from Cameroon for extended periods of time, though no other leader in the world, to my knowledge, in history, leaves the country for that kind of extended period, especially a country in crisis. Actually, leaders cut short their trips outside of the country to rush back home in times of crisis, which is Biya has normalized the reverse of that. But coming to your question about the military, Biya has signed decrees before from outside of the country. This is the first time, and we know that there have been fake decrees, pushed before. This is not the first time that a decree purportedly signed by Biya has been questioned. But this is the first time that a senior member of the military, the institution of the military, the deputy commander-in-chief of the military, has challenged a so-called signature of the president on that decree. When I put that in context of what Captain Efudu has been saying over the last couple of outings, I guess everybody is aware of what he has been saying. That points to a very, very serious fundamental problem within the army, especially as we know that Ngongo is jostling for position to succeed Biya. The focus of everybody in that presidency right now is not the state of the country or the life of the average Cameroonian. The focus now is the succession of Biya. Biya has been playing this I am dead, I show up again, I am dead, see you in 20 years game for a long time. But life is finite. He can only play that game for so long. And I think the people within believe that this is it for him. He will not come back in any capacity to really take the reins of the country. And in course of positioning themselves, I think Ngongo or those who are not in his camp feel that this is an attempt for him to secure the military, because the main thing between the people of Cameroon and the presidency is the military. The military can say all the ones that they are not involved in politics. They are involved in politics. They are the people keeping the criminals in power right now. Take away the military and that regime collapses. So I believe that something is going on, something very serious.
And Barrister Bobga, fingers keep on pointing at Ngongo. Even in the case of this general, it is said that it was Ngongo, Ngongo who wrote the decree and sent it to CRTV, and they announced it. What do you make of the fact that everything rotates around Ngongo?
You see, Chris, one of my greatest worries has been that Ambazonians have gotten sucked into the disablement culture in La République du Cameroon. That instead of discussing our own internal problem, fixing the issues, and giving the engine of our project a full combustion without leakage, we spend so much time discussing the internal affairs of the people who are actually predators on us. Here is my thing. If we are discussing how that impacts the Ambazonian project, I'm all for it. More than 20 years ago, I had predicted, either in print or audiovisual media, I can't recollect, but I said it, that Ambazonia is going to have an auto-release when La République du Cameroon implodes. That is, experiences a cataclysm within itself. And that's exactly what is happening. Because a couple of years back, what sense did you have of the leaders of La République du Cameroon, that is the army, the administrators, and what have you? It was solid, absolute cultist unity. Nobody stepped out of the line. But now we see courage springing up, maybe thanks to the little schooling from our own experience. Because these generals, they have had their ranks acquired through administrative promotion by Biya. Tell me, where is the content of their generalship? Now, the biggest they can talk about is, their experience of staying in protected quarters in Ambazonia and sending people's children to go and kill each other. But the truth about it is that even in international geopolitics, the support that La République as the linchpin in French-speaking Central Africa has been enjoying is waning, especially at this time that not soldiers, but simple fire, France is unable to control. So there is a weakness that is possibly going to completely liquidate Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, I mean.
Yeah.
And it will lead to another explosion of Boya Mountain, politically speaking, but where the lava will solidify before it flows to get to the ocean. That the cooling will be so fast if we are prepared. That one of the things we should be ready for, from the perspective of common humanity, particularly Pan-Africanism, is to be ready, whether we like it or not, to accommodate the refugees of the implosion from La République du Cameroon. But I want to emphasize that Southern Cameroonians absolutely need to know that right from the United Nations, 1954, their problem has been the fact that they have not been allowed to name themselves. Our identity has been tampered with, and the struggle we have is to regain our identity as a people, historically and legally grounded, and then move on to consolidate the nation statehood that emerged from that identity. Regrettably, our own infighting is a reflection of what is coming out now in La République, where the one-time solid unity is dissipating like ice cream placed in the oven of a bakery just immediately after the bread has been removed. It will not take a second. Everything will flow out or evaporate. So let us draw the lesson from La République implosion as they have drawn from our fragile unity to stand up as one people. And don't get me wrong, we just need to tidy each other's house. I mean, what I envision in the next 50 years is a state that encompasses a couple of member states of existing regions, that is Chad, Central African Republic, Congo, Brazzaville, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, La République du Cameroon. We could even join Nigeria and have the Confederation of West African States. And then the Maghreb region and the desert countries will join the AES. The East African countries could join the South African group. And it is such rearrangement that is going to give us the muscle to stand up and stem the manipulations of the greater enemies of the entire Africa, not to subjugate them, but to teach them the Ubuntu that runs through the entirety of Africa. I yield.
All right. That was such a great idea. My only fears with those neighbors, because You don't see those leaders in Nigeria, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Gabon, in Central Africa. You have only Nigeria and Ghana that speak the same language with us. And so when it comes to accepting Southern Cameroons or the Southern Cameroons as part of a West African something, they tell you, oh, we don't want to encroach on some other country's political authority or territorial integrity. That's always a problem, you know that.
Yeah, you are right. But I can tell you this. We need to think horizontally and vertically. We cannot remain in the mold that was imposed upon us. Take, for example, Nigeria. The colony of Lagos was the only colony. The rest of the Nigerian territory were protectorates on paper. It's Lord Lugard who created Nigeria. And what I'm saying is that Africans should stop wearing the coat imposed on them. Even if we are going to weave our suits with fiber, raffia fiber, we need to do it. We need to do what we need to do. And the difference you must have understood between an Ambazonian and the people of La République du Cameroon is that they have been brainwashed, but the brainwashing on us has not been successful. That's where the difference is. So Africans must arise. We need mutual recognition and respect. That is the mantra. Mind you, the vice president of Colombia, the state of Colombia, the nation of Colombia in Latin America, who is a black woman, visited East Africa and came back and instituted the teaching of Kiswahili in their primary schools. Tell me what that country will become with Kiswahili in the next 50 years. Let us not only have courage in pulling the trigger. Violence does not work well without creative thinking. I say this to underscore the fact that self-defense is admissible, but continual creative thinking, you were just quoting Shakespeare. The philosophy imparted in the writings of Shakespeare, Aristotle, and more. These are the things that have given the guide, the pillars and the rules that have guided the continuous development of Europe, to the extent that they use the philosophy of those people and even their religiosity to determine how to continually suppress us and exploit us for their benefit. We need to rise up to use the most powerful lethal atomic bomb that God gave us, our brains. We should start thinking.
All right. Thank you. That would be a subject for another day, I guess. For now, I will take you out for a short, brief break, and when I come back, I take you to the town hall with Issa Tchiroma that is happening tomorrow. One of its kind. It hasn't happened before. Stay put. I'll be back.
The workplace is changing faster than ever before.
Whether you work in healthcare, education, law, content creation, insurance, real estate, human resources, accounting, or nursing, AI is becoming part of your everyday job.
The question isn't whether AI is coming. It's whether you'll be ready. At Certified AI Academy, we teach practical AI skills through live, interactive classes led by experienced instructors. Learn the tools employers are already using today. Invest in yourself. Learn AI now, or someone who already has learned will be used to replace you. Certified AI Academy is now enrolling for our July session. Seating is limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. Call or text 346-271-0711 today and secure your future. Grab your opportunity now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are geared for a one-of-a-kind town hall meeting tomorrow with La République du Cameroon's politician, presidential candidate, the man who's supposed to have won the election or who won the election, talking about Issa Tchiroma Bakari. That town hall is coming up tomorrow, Saturday, and the invitation is very much open to everyone out there, Southern Cameroonian or not. You are invited to show up for the town hall. In the course of this show, again, we will try to bring you the link, the Zoom link, so you can get it and prepare to be at the meeting tomorrow. But in the meantime, this is my talking point for it. In politics, timing is rarely accidental. It often reveals more than the words spoken from the podium. That is precisely why Issa Tchiroma's decision to hold what is being described as his first exclusive town hall meeting with Southern Cameroonians deserves close scrutiny. Why now? The answer is not immediately obvious, but the political context surrounding Cameroon today offers several plausible explanations. Cameroon is navigating one of the most uncertain moments in its post-independence history. President Biya has remained outside the country for an extended period amid persistent speculation about his health. Although no official declaration of incapacity has been made, the prolonged absence has intensified questions about succession and exposed visible fractures within the country's political establishment. Against this backdrop, Tchiroma's outreach to Southern Cameroonians appears far more significant than an ordinary political engagement. Could this be the beginning of a broader political realignment? It is certainly possible. Only weeks ago, some of you will recall, Issa Tchiroma appealed to the Cameroonian military to facilitate what he described as his safe return from exile. That appeal alone suggested a politician actively preparing for another chapter in his political career rather than retreating from public life. And now comes this unprecedented engagement with a constituency that has historically viewed him, seen Issa Tchiroma himself, with profound skepticism. That sequence of events naturally raises an important question. Is Issa Tchiroma quietly assembling the geopolitical support necessary for a political comeback? If Biya's prolonged absence ultimately produces a succession crisis, every serious political actor will understand that no national coalition can realistically ignore the English-speaking territories. Regardless of one's position on the Southern Cameroon's question, the conflict has fundamentally altered Cameroon's political landscape. For decades, national politics largely revolve around regional balancing inside the Francophone political establishment. In any new dispensation, however, any credible claim to national leadership increasingly requires addressing the unresolved Ambazonia conflict, or you can call it the Southern Cameroon's conflict. If Issa Tchiroma harbors ambitions of reclaiming what he has consistently maintained was his stolen electoral mandate, then engaging Southern Cameroonians would not merely be symbolic, it would be politically logical. Whether that is his objective remains uncertain. But the possibility cannot simply be dismissed. Equally significant is the audience he has chosen to address. Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians as we call ourselves, we are unlikely to welcome him uncritically. Many within the Ambazonian movement remember Issa Tchiroma, not as an outsider, but as someone who spent decades serving the Bia's regime. To many Southern Cameroonians, Issa Tchiroma remains part of the very political establishment that they accuse of marginalization, repression, and the denial of their right to self-determination. That history cannot be erased by one town hall meeting. It must instead be confronted. This is precisely why expectations surrounding his remarks will be unusually high. The people will not merely want reassurances. They will demand clarity. They will demand cooperation in having their dreams fulfilled. In previous statements, Issa Tchiroma indicated his willingness to listen to the grievances of Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, and even suggested at one point that when it comes, or if it comes or becomes needful, he would support a referendum that would allow for greater autonomy. That statement, while noteworthy, leaves enormous political questions unanswered. Does greater autonomy represent genuine constitutional federalism? Would it involve internationally supervised negotiations? Could it evolve into a referendum offering multiple political options? Or does it merely envision another decentralization initiative that many Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, have repeatedly rejected? These distinctions matter enormously. For many Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, the conflict is no longer about administrative reforms or expanded local governance. It has evolved into a struggle centered on independence, international recognition, and the right of self-determination. Consequently, Issa Tchiroma's audience will almost certainly expect him to address these issues directly rather than relying on carefully crafted political language. Silence or ambiguity could reinforce long-standing distrust. Clarity, even if controversial, may at least demonstrate political courage. Another intriguing possibility deserves consideration here. Could Issa Tchiroma believe that Cameroon is entering a rare political opening, one in which new alliances become possible as old power structures weaken? History has shown that periods of leadership uncertainty often produce unexpected political coalitions. Politicians who once occupied opposing camps suddenly discover shared interests when national power is being renegotiated. If that is indeed the current political moment in La République du Cameroon, then, speaking directly to Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, becomes less surprising. It becomes strategic. None of this confirms Tchiroma's intentions though. Only he can fully explain why he has chosen this particular moment and this particular audience. Yet politics often speaks through actions before it speaks through speeches. An exclusive town hall with Southern Cameroonians coming amid mounting uncertainty over Cameroon's future leadership, and shortly after publicly seeking assistance from the military to return from exile, is almost certain to fuel speculation about larger political ambitions. Whether this marked the beginning of a genuine effort at national reconciliation, or an attempt to rebuild political legitimacy, or the first step in assembling a broad geopolitical coalition ahead of a potentially transformative period in Cameroon, remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. One thing, however, appears beyond dispute. Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, will not simply be listening to what Issa Tchiroma says. They will be carefully judging whether, after decades of political participation within the system they reject, he is finally prepared to offer something fundamentally different. And that is my talking point, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring back my panel here and start with Comrade Ato Muchia. You are the one inviting Issa Tchiroma to this Southern Cameroon's town hall. Am I correct?
Yes, thank you, Chris, for having this. Yes, we extended an invitation to President-elect Issa Tchiroma Bakari to come to the town hall, as we have done to all the guests who have ever been to this town hall platform. I want to emphasize and get the record straight that nobody in the town hall secretariat is part of Issa Tchiroma's team. Nobody is working with Issa Tchiroma's team. We have communicated with his team to the extent necessary to prepare and make this town hall platform, this town hall meeting a success. That's the extent of our relationship. I thought it was very important to clarify that in my opening remarks about this town hall.
So when you sent out the invitation to him, how was his response to it? Did he hesitate? Did he ask some questions? Was he like, why are you inviting me to an Ambazonian organization? I mean, how did the conversation go?
When we extended the invitation, we extended the invitation with reasons why he should come to the town hall. And I think those reasons were appealing to his team. We didn't reach out to him directly. At the beginning, we reached out to members of his team. And they were open to the reasons we had presented. And they forwarded it to him and came back to us and told us that he was interested and bought into the reasons we had forwarded, why it was necessary for him to come to the town hall and speak directly to Southern Cameroonians. One thing we have prided ourselves in the town hall secretariat is to give Southern Cameroonians direct access to the same people who we try to talk to behind the scenes to find a way forward in our struggle. So we didn't want to talk to his team or talk to him or start discussing. First of all, we don't have the mandate to do that, even if it's in the interest of Southern Cameroons, right? We wanted Southern Cameroonians to come and hear from him and also give him the opportunity to speak directly. Like you said, this is something that has never been done by any politician in Cameroon, be it Southern Cameroons or in La République, where they have come out and had, like we say, the town hall is a marketplace, sat around with the people around them in a marketplace, have civil, constructive discussions, exchange ideas, take questions, answer directly. I commend President-elect Issa Tchiroma for accepting this invitation because he is not afraid to come out and have frank discussions with Southern Cameroons. He himself said it in Bamenda. Even if we don't agree, he has made it clear that his position is for federalism. He has a right to his opinion or to what he is looking forward to, just as we have a right to what we want for Southern Cameroons. You don't write a thesis and then be afraid to go defend your thesis. You write a thesis, you defend, and if the panel thinks, okay, you met the minimum requirement, they pass you and graduate you, right? So he has a position. It's his thesis. We have a position. It's our thesis. There is no way, I don't care what anybody says, there is no way we are going to move forward without speaking with the authorities in La République. It is not going to happen. I don't care how weak or fragile they are. France, before the Fifth Republic, was having government after government collapse and collapse and collapse. But that never gave any of its colonies independence. So just because the occupier is having internal problems does not guarantee you an exit from their stranglehold. At some point, they have to speak. And in our discussions, Issa Tchiroma is the legitimately elected president of La République. The office was hijacked by Biya and his cronies. And we know that they are in implode mode. So the next logical person to take over, he has never renounced his election and his legitimacy to be president. So we felt this is the time to engage him before he ascends to power, if, at the end of the day, he's able to secure his legitimate right to the presidency.
Now, you certainly have prepared some questions to channel to him at the town hall. If I may ask, what are your expectations coming out of it? What do you want to hear from him per the questions you've channeled to him?
The questions we have channeled, I would tell you, you see, we want something, right? But people don't get up and run.
Can I cut in? Can I cut in?
Oh yes,
please.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Focus your camera. Your camera is very shaky.
No, don't. Yes, don't worry. It's my time to leave because you spent too much time on the monologue.
Yeah, let's go on because you are eating into the time. Just go ahead and make the point. I run the show here.
Oh, that's precisely the point that Mr. Muchia just said. He doesn't care what people think, but I care on focus. And my advice is that any platform that is standing up for Ambazonia should collaborate and have unity of purpose. On that score, I think we have a difference of opinion and philosophy. I will not be able to make a statement on the issue on this platform, which might, from the timing, look like to kind of preview the town hall. And from Mr. Muchia's statement, I will not even attend tomorrow's town hall because I think they have an agenda which does not align with the pursuit of the identity as articulated to independence of Southern Cameroon. I yield and have a good evening.
All right. It's
So, Chris,
unfortunate that you make such a generalized statement, and you don't want to spend a few minutes to
it's not about a few minutes. We work
to
on
it.
time, and I'm an employee of somebody, and I need
Chris,
to be able to keep to time.
All right.
Chris,
Okay.
please,
Yes. Arthur, go on, please.
Yeah. Yes, let me respond to Barrister, though he is leaving. He said, I said, I don't care. And this is what is wrong with some of us Southern Cameroonians. And I'm happy that this is a live show and I have a chance to respond. I said I didn't care in a specific context that there is no way we are going to get independence or whatever without talking with people in La République. That is the context. So Barrister has to leave and he can make his excuses. He is very skeptical, he said it before, about anything which does not align with his personal thinking or beliefs. Now, if he has a way of achieving his goal without talking with La République, we are all for it. More power to him. So let him not misconstrue because he doesn't agree with us talking with Tchiroma and muddy the minds or the thinking of Southern Cameroonians. That's very crude, and I really didn't expect that from such a learned person, taking it out of context.
Okay.
And I am right.
I mean,
I challenge anybody.
I am used.
I challenge
I'm used.
anybody. No, Barrister, hold on. Barrister,
Otto, I'm used to being insulted, but you know that after your show we will talk. As a younger brother, we will still talk.
Yes, we will talk, definitely, Barrister, but I am upset that you took it out of context. I said, I don't care what anybody says, that we can move forward without speaking to La République. And I challenge you to move our struggle forward without speaking to La République. Give us the calculus of how you plan to do it. I yield, Mr. Chris Anu. Sorry for that, but I have to correct that.
Back and move on with it.
Yeah. Listen, as far as I am concerned, I had a policy from day number one that we went into this struggle. There is nobody beyond bounds that we should be able to communicate with. Talking to somebody doesn't mean we necessarily agree with that person's point of view. We are just merely trying to explore different waters to see what we can get or derive from it. And I think Issa Tchiroma is in the right place to be connected to. We don't know where this election thing ends tomorrow, but at least he is the one and only La Republican politician who has said, I am ready to sit down and listen to Ambazonia, talk to Ambazonia. And he has made his position very clear, the form of state very clear. He keeps talking about federalism, going back to federalism. That is his position. He knows what our position is. But at the end of the day, you end on the negotiation table. And that is why it is important to talk to people with the potential of becoming leaders in that country tomorrow. That is why I fully endorse the meeting tomorrow. Nobody is being coerced. And I think that if you are out there watching and listening, get the link, be in that meeting tomorrow. Ask every question you can, and nobody should censor you. Comrade, go on.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Chris. There is a difference between emotional and emotional intelligence. This is a very, very complicated issue, right? We have many steps to cover, even before we get to that negotiating table. Our people are suffering. And the only people who want to run without crawling, without walking, are people who are sitting in the comfort of the diaspora. Right? In July of 2020, which Captain Efudu invoked in his latest outing, Sisiku and some of our people in detention met with Eko. That is now confirmed publicly. We knew about that. And they put out...
We had known about that for a long time. There were meetings. There were meetings that took place in Ghana with some of... I don't want to mention... who was there at that meeting. Meetings took place in Ghana, yes. I think that was 2020 or 2019 or so, where Eko led a delegation of 9, including 2 women from Yaoundé. They met in Ghana with some of our revolutionary leaders, and who were told, of course, Sisiko, they were very much aware of that arrangement. I think that is what Efudu is referring to.
Yes, but in none of those meetings, even with our people in detention, did they say they wanted independence. Because they understood that to get what we need to get to the table. What they were channeling were the genuine, in good faith, preliminary steps to get us to the table to, make our case, defend our thesis. They asked for an end to the war. They asked for the soldiers to go back to the barracks. They asked for the release of our detainees. They asked for IDPs to come back. They asked for our infrastructure to be rebuilt, right? So we have to start getting what we need. And then they asked for dialogue. So we are trying to push these same points which we have been talking about for the past 8-10 years for let us get Yaoundé to the table. But for Yaoundé to show us that they are coming to the table in good faith, we need to see these milestones met along the way, right? So let us not think that Tchiroma is coming there tomorrow to the president-elect is coming there tomorrow to say yes, we would have independence for Southern Cameroons. No, we want to get him.
Why do you keep referring to him president-elect as if he's the president of Ambazonia?
He's the president-elect of La République. Don't you refer to president-elects everywhere as president-elect?
All right, I give it to you.
Yeah, he's the president-elect of the October 12th elections. He won the elections hands clear, squarely. So I don't have any problem referring to him as president-elect. Like I said in my opening remarks, he is the legitimately elected president of La République. That is not disputable. So we want to engage with him and ask questions and let him know for sure where we stand, what we want. And he has his positions. And then we start the dialogue from now. We don't have to wait for him to get to a 2D and have the security around him and hard to reach. We can start having that dialogue now, tomorrow. We can start it tomorrow and even have joint commissions with his team to proceed in this dialogue on where we are going. So that if he ascends to a 2D, we hit the ground running. We don't start planning when he's in. We start planning now. Are you? Sorry.
All right, that's fine. We will take a brief break out.
Go ahead, sorry.
We will take a brief break out before we get back, please.
The workplace is changing faster than ever before.
Whether you work in healthcare, education, law, content creation, insurance, real estate, human resources, accounting, or nursing, AI is becoming part of your everyday job.
The question isn't whether AI is coming. It's whether you'll be ready. At Certified AI Academy, we teach practical AI skills through live, interactive classes led by experienced instructors. Learn the tools employers are already using today. Invest in yourself. Learn AI now, or someone who already has learned will be used to replace you. Certified AI Academy is now enrolling for our July session. Seating is limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. Call or text 346-271-0711 today and secure your future. Grab your opportunity now.
So, Comrade Atto, let me get back to you. Meeting Tchiroma tomorrow at this town hall, if you have the opportunity to ask him a question, what would be your focus?
To recognize, and we have those questions already from some people who would be at the town hall, is to recognize, because he spoke about the root cause in Bamenda, right? He said yes, he was going to have a conference and they would get to the root cause. And is to me, my question would be for his understanding of the root cause of the crisis. Because he can say root cause, but if he doesn't understand and have a mastery of that root cause, it will be difficult for us to have constructive conversations moving forward. So my question is, when he says he wants to get to the root cause, what does he mean? How will he define the root cause? That would be my question to him. That, to me, would be the starting point of any negotiations. We have to agree on the premise on which we are negotiating. So he has to get that clear.
Okay, but he has already talked about supporting going back to a federal system. The only thing is nobody is sure of the nature of the federalism that he supports. He may come out tomorrow and say, well, yes, I talked about a federal system, but I was actually talking about creating new administrative units and giving them autonomy and power. So the federation could be a federation of 30 states or 15 or 20 or 4. how do you hold him to that at the end of the day? Because you know, these politicians are very slippery. They say something today mean a different thing tomorrow.
Well, again, like I said, right? We have a position. We have a thesis. He has a position. I'm not expecting him. I mean, I'll be glad, but I'm not expecting his position to be our position. So, like any respectful political debate, he would air what he wants, and we would also give reason for why we have a different opinion or disagree with him. Then let us now drill down to what he is describing as the root cause, and let us defend our positions. And we would also ask him to come with the same open mind we will also take to the table. And at the end of the day, let us be able to outweigh his reasons for wanting to come up with this 4-state or 10-state or whatever kind of federalism or confederal system he wants to put in place. We have to make our argument. We cannot be upset, because if he comes out tomorrow agreeing with what we want, then what's the point for talking? What's the point for negotiating? Then everything we are doing so far is mute. We just support him to become president, and tomorrow he he declares us independent and we go our ways. There's no point for any further talk. But people sit and negotiate.
But I guess you know that we really have no say. When I say no say, I mean in terms of control, as per what he becomes in La République du Cameroon. We may only become influential when he gets there, because the elections have taken place. He won the elections. He was denied the mandate. If he gets back there, we really don't have control. I think the only thing we can be looking at that moment, should he get back there, is, okay, you made these promises to us. Is it not time for us to sit down and begin to negotiate, to settle this? Because we are not going to walk away from the struggle, lay down arms, call a ceasefire because Issa Tchiroma is the new president, right?
And that's why I said the conversation can start tomorrow, right? We can start negotiating with him before he even gets to power. Now, if he never gets there, well, we tried and we did it in good faith and we put our best foot forward.
You are right. I'm sorry to cut you a little bit short. You are right, starting to negotiate with him. But again, you know, being a politician, you can say anything now. Until he gets there. Somebody said, forget it. When he gets there, the French will be his masters, even when the same French have denied him the mandate that is rightfully his.
Yes, but we don't, you do not go to work because you feel that tomorrow your company may go under and you'll be jobless, right? You keep doing what you have to do. You anticipate, you're right, you anticipate the worst case scenario. But the whole idea of tomorrow or moving forward is to try to get a pledge and commitment, because like you said in your opening remarks, politics is about alliances, right? Even if Tchiroma wants to get into a 2D tomorrow, he needs to start building coalitions. He needs to start building alliances. These alliances come with their own leverages. If he didn't feel that Southern Cameroons had something to offer him in his bid to rightfully regain the presidency, he wouldn't even come to talk to us. So we are not going in there blindfolded, saying that, okay, we'll just go and talk and leave. We want to hold him to what he is going to tell Southern Cameroonians tomorrow. And when he gets there, we have to drumbeat the pledges we get from him and what we would also offer in return, right? I always tell people this, right? If you take the case of Eritrea and Ethiopia, neither the Eritreans or the Ethiopians Liberation Army could unseat Mengistu in Ethiopia. At some point, Eritrea had to work with the Ethiopian Liberation Army to unseat Mengistu. They had an agreement. It was not carved in stone, but it was a gentleman's agreement. In 91, they got rid of Mengistu. In 93, they shook hands. Without another war, Eritrea went its way, Ethiopia went its way. So these things, you negotiate them in good faith and hope that everybody would respect. Ethiopia could have come to power tomorrow and decided that, you know what, like Morocco did to Western Sahara and threw the agreement out the window. That happens. I agree with you. But by the same token, you also have to put your best foot forward, negotiate, make sure you have leverage and hold your position. We are not asking our people to stop tomorrow because we've spoken to Tchiroma. We are going to tell Tchiroma, we need to see this, we need to see this, we need to see this. And it's going to be a systematic give and take to decompress the situation in which we find ourselves till we have a smooth transition. Whatever the people of Southern Cameroons decide, they need to be given that space and that opportunity to decide their future. And that is what we want to hold him to, that he would agree to give Southern Cameroonians the space for us to decide. If Southern Cameroonians decide that they want to stay in this suffering, we cannot, I would not be party to imposing liberation for them. If they decide they want liberation, I would not impose their hands to be tied behind their backs. But I believe that they deserve.
I mean, Southern Cameroonians are not talking about federation. I think the events of, was it October 2017, the declaration of Ambazonia independence, it was overwhelmingly supported and many people still stand behind it and they hope to see a free and independent Ambazonia. Federation is something, let's leave that for federalists. If they get federation, thank God, right? We can then go on from there to see what we make out of it. But until then, our request stands for a free and independent Southern Cameroon. Issa Tchiroma should come in and tell us what he will make, how he will change the minds, the spirits and minds of Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, from believing in any form of federalism he may have in mind. And another point is that of a referendum. I think when we sit here and say he is talking about federation, we should not be at a point where anybody, any one individual, has the right to decide what the Southern Cameroons becomes, isn't it? So, I think we should be able to ask him, in one of these town halls is a great opportunity, do you support a situation where Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, in your effort to seek solutions, would you support a referendum that allows Southern Cameroonians to choose if they want a federation or they want union with la Republic, decentralization, or if they want a free and independent territory? I think this will be a great question to pose to him.
I agree with you, and that's the whole idea. And like I said, that's why the Secretariat wanted him to come and take questions, because we cannot claim we know everything or would have all the questions that would satisfy Southern Cameroonians. That's why I am glad you had this show to inform and encourage Southern Cameroonians to come tomorrow. Your question is a legitimate question, and I hope and pray you would be there tomorrow and ask this question. But I would say that even when you have elections and somebody is up 70% in the polls, you still have to legitimize the vote and the support he has or she has by allowing the people to freely express themselves. Because we don't want to find ourselves in a South Sudan, right? And this is why I'm always very careful about the overwhelming majority. There is still a section of Southern Cameroonians who want another form of state and who also, like you said, a referendum, need to be given the opportunity to express themselves and let the winner, let the majority carry the day, as is in any proper democratic process. But I would not be for shutting them out before we have legitimized the aspirations of the majority of Southern Cameroonians. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but for me, for the sake, that is the only way we are going to maintain peace, by allowing people to express themselves clearly in a transparent, fair manner, and let the results lay out for the world to see, including His Excellency Issa Tchiroma Bakari and La République, that this is the legitimate express desire, aspirations of a majority of Southern Cameroonians.
This is the way and the process I look at it. Should he take over office, will he immediately release all political detainees? That is number one. Unconditionally release all political detainees. Not about waiting for 1 month, not about waiting for 3 weeks. The very first week, if ye genuinely believe in a peace process, would ye immediately, upon taking office, in the first 1 or 2 weeks maximum, release all political detainees? Then, number two, would ye organize or agree to an internationally supervised process that leads to a ceasefire? And then confidence building measures, because when you call for a ceasefire, you are saying, okay, guns down, henceforth, this is the direction we are taking, this is the process we are taking, we are going to exhaust that process unless it fails. Can people pick up their guns again? But these are the measures. Now, it should not be left again to any individual or group of individuals, considering the divisions on our side. You have unionists, you have federalists, you have independentists. There is no doubt, well, let me not say that now, but you know these divisions. You know, they are talking about AAC3 now, and the question is, the federalists and the unionists, they go in there, how do they agree? They cannot even agree. Neither will independentists agree with federalists or unionists. So I think the easiest way for Issa Tchiroma, a President Issa Tchiroma, to resolve the conflict is, okay, let's do this way as part of the confidence building measures. At the end of the day, let Ambazonians themselves decide through a referendum what form of state, what form of state they want. Do they want to be on their own? If the people vote and say yes, as we did in 1961, okay. If the people say, well, we want autonomy in the federal structure with La République du Cameroon, well, after that, it stays. If they vote and say, well, we want more decentralization with a level of autonomy with one Cameroon, these are the three questions. I wish we can hold him to agree to this, because that is the fairest way of resolving the conflict. Then you don't blame anybody at the end of the day because you voted for it.
Exactly. I agree with you. But I would also remind our people that there are many other issues which, I mean, this is the cardinal issue, right? This is the cardinal issue. But there are also many other issues we also have to bring in, right? I am feeling the state of insecurity. The random killings of our people now is beyond imagination. Forget about the war between our fighters and La République soldiers. Just the killings, the insecurities, the rapes, the drugs. Our social fabric is collapsing. So let us see how we can begin to get our people out of prison, how we can begin to improve security, how we can begin to get people to get their livelihood back to normalcy. Because all these things we are saying, they are good and they are cardinal, but it will not mean anything to the people, honestly, if we continue with these insecurities and killings and rapes and all these things. We risk losing, because people are going to vote their state of being today, not what they anticipate should. If you were to redo a referendum in South Sudan today, Mr. Chris Anu, you would lose, because the people are going through hell and they are wishing that they had worked out peace with Khartoum and lived as one.
I think I get your point, but it appears to me you are dismissing the effectiveness of a referendum. Nobody is calling for an immediate referendum. There's a process with which you get there. Release all the prisoners, as you say. I agree with you. try to resolve the security issue. A referendum doesn't come in a negotiation doesn't come up within 1 year or 2 years. It may come up even after 5 years. By 5 years, you will agree with me, the security situation would have been taken care of with a ceasefire.
I agree with you, and I'm happy you highlighted it. And that's exactly the point I want, because our people may go there tomorrow and say that, okay, he said we are going to get a referendum, and think that on day one, that is what is going to happen. I'm happy you have highlighted that, because it's important for us to inform and educate our people so that expectations are measured and reasonable and practical.
All right. What time is the event tomorrow?
East Coast, US, 11 a.m. Southern Cameroon's time, 4 p.m. He is in the Gambia, in Banjul, as we all know, 3 p.m. And your point about the release of our prisoners, and this will come up tomorrow in the town hall while he's there. The 2018 United Nations Human Rights Court in Switzerland ruled that the abduction, extradition, and imprisonment of our Naira 10 was illegal and called for their immediate release plus compensation. So that ruling has already passed the UN, to which Cameroon is a signatory, and that puts their ruling or the international law above a national law. So that ruling is already on the books. So that is something that maybe tomorrow we bring to his attention, just to buttress your point about how soon we want our people out of the dungeons.
All right. Okay, all right. So it's 11 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern. That will be 10 a.m. Central.
Central.
All
correct.
Right. And
correct.
In Ambazonia, that will be
4 p.m.
4 p.m. So it's 4 p.m.
Yes.
Ambazonia, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. I wish our technician could put that on the screen. Again, that is tomorrow. Do you have the link out already? Do you have the link out?
Are you asking me or the technician?
No, I mean you.
Oh, yes. We've put it everywhere. You know, the Zoom link is everywhere. It's on all the flyers. It's on as many forums. It's on the town hall Facebook page.
All right. I know I have the link. I will put it out there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very much a proponent to this idea. Not that I expect it to change anything, but it is always good to build alliances and talk with potential collaborators. And that is the important thing about that. This idea that, you don't have to talk to certain people, you must not meet with certain people, is nonsense. From day number one of this struggle, I made it very clear. I know I am the spokesperson, but I am still Chris. I know I am still a journalist. I am not that cheap for anyone to think that if I talk to this person, I am taking bribe from that person. I am beyond bribe. I think I've established it enough. And so our people have to realize that you don't lock yourself in a box and think that independence will work to you. You have to do networking. Take that which is good and dump that which doesn't work for you. That's what it should be. I give you the last point before you go.
No, I just want to thank you very much. I want to appeal to Southern Cameroonians. There is no magic person in La République that we feel must have Southern Cameroons written on his forehead before we want to talk to them. Biya has made it categorically clear, and those around Biya's nucleus, that they don't give 2 cents about us. They would not negotiate with us. They have sabotaged every outreach we have made to them. His Excellency President-elect Issa Tchiroma Bakari is the legitimately elected president. He has expressed an openness and willingness to talk, even when we disagree. So let us take advantage and let us start talking. Let us start building alliances, and let us bring our questions. We may not have all the answers we want. Obviously, he may have reservations about talking on certain issues publicly. That is understandable. But let this be the beginning of many more interactions with those who may be in in charge of the situation tomorrow in La République. And I thank you, and I encourage our people to come out tomorrow and participate. And if everybody can get on Zoom, it will be carried on a lot of Facebook platforms. It will be easy to find.
We will carry it live here. We will carry it live here on the ABS.
Yes, and the Town Hall Forum and CBC and everywhere. Yes. And we would monitor those comment sections for those who may not be able to make it on Zoom.
My advice is that when people come in, let the questions not be extended, but so that everybody has the opportunity to ask a question, and they should not be censored by no means.
No, we don't censor.
If possible, give the people who want to ask at least. I can ask a question in 50 seconds. That way, if you have a town hall of 100 people, you can have 50 people asking questions to the point.
We would do our best to accommodate that and give people a few seconds. But one thing we want to avoid, we know that La République will be listening. We know there will be bad actors who will come in there to sabotage, to insult, to disrupt.
You ignore those ones. Keep those ones out. Don't entertain them.
So
it makes sense. Because they should not eat your time coming there just to cause havoc.
Yes, exactly. So we would do our best to monitor that and give people an opportunity. People want to ask their questions, right? So we would work out a formula which would, make this work. For as long as he can stay. We can't guarantee that he will be there for 3, 4, 5 hours, but we will do our best so that people express themselves and hear from him in as long as he wants to stay or he can stay. Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Somebody, hold on a second. I think somebody has a question here. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Who may this be?
Yeah, I'm calling from Belgium. Are you still on the show?
I am still on the show, sir. What is on your mind?
Yeah, I want to say something to Mr. Otto, the panelist.
Okay.
Yeah, the idea he's saying is good, and also your idea you said is good, because if there is no dialogue, you can never achieve nothing. So, for Barrister Bobga, who said talking with Issa Tchiroma or someone from the Republic, it does not make any sense. I don't agree with that. Before you achieve something, you have to talk with even the enemy. Okay, can we be fighting for 100 years without discussing?
Can you imagine if Nelson Mandela was in jail and saying, I'm not going to talk to anybody until they release me. I'm not going to talk to anybody until I am freed. Can you imagine that?
That's foolishness. That's foolishness. I don't think that's reasonable, because now the war is getting to 10 years. It's almost to 10 years. So you will not talk to achieve. So can you fight and achieve by yourself without negotiating? It's not possible. It's not possible.
Absolutely.
If you are fighting, you must have a platform to discuss and bring a discussion together. If Tchiroma can promise that if it happens that he takes power, he can come to a round table to discuss the issue. But I'm telling you, Chris, no president, no government will accept a separation, but they will call for a table.
Yeah.
And if you are asking for elephant, if they bring a lion or a goat, you will first of all take it. You will not say, because no, I'm looking for elephant, I will pursue my elephant. It's not so. You can be aiming for separation, yes, but no president will come down. We should separate. What can give you a separation is your firepower. If you have the power to fire, that can automatically give you a separation. Then with that, it's not possible. That's my contribution, sir. Please.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Just to add to that, Chris, I want to remind our people.
Just hold on there. Let's take this other caller and we go from there. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Maryland, Comrade Chris.
Okay, and what is the contribution, sir?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ato. It's a pleasure again seeing you.
Thank you.
I want to applaud your efforts for letting Tchiroma come to talk to us. I mean, as a matter of fact, we have a lot of questions for him. And I think I want to encourage all Southern Cameroonians to be in the town hall. And again, there's something that's been going on with us Southern Cameroonians. We don't want to open our doors to others to come and listen to us. I mean, we just keep rejecting people, to talk to people. I mean, it doesn't work like that. Iran is currently in a war with the United States. They're killing each other, but they still get to the table. They still get to talk. So I don't see why Tchiroma coming to talk to us it's a problem. I was not happy when our elder brother said he was not going to be there. If you are not going to be there, that is your decision. Don't bring it on the live show to discourage other people from coming to listen. Again, I like Comrade Chris endorsed. I also, Sebastian Barico, I endorsed Southern Cameroonians coming to ask questions to Issa Tchiroma. Thank you. Thank you again, Comrade Chris, for the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, Comrade Sebastian.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
Yeah, what I have here is this. For my little years that I've been in Cameroon, I've never seen La Republique accept one thing. They have never accepted anything. And I wonder these people that keep on believing, keep on whining time, is another process that they are giving us. And let me tell you.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about exactly?
Because I have been with my little life, I've never seen La Republique accepted something. Never. The way out for them is to molest, to arrest, to kill, to torture, so that they can abolish the idea. So if I wanted to ask your panelists, what can make animals to jump out of the forest? It's fire. It's fire. When fire comes, everybody jumps. Even what they are talking, they are asking La Republique, it will never answer until we put fire. It is fire that will cause these people, nothing else. I want to say something about Issa Tchiroma. If Issa Tchiroma, he himself is dreaming, and his people, that he will become the president of Cameroon, they are wasting their time. Never in the history. They are just wasting time. Because what this man is supposed to do, he's not doing it. He has changed the direction. And that is where a whole lot of confusion. He will never be him the president. I think he's listening from me. I'm calling from Ground Zero. He will never, if as far as Cameroon is concerned. So if you want to change the system, let him change it. So we should not be depending on this man. Let's not depend on this man.
No, I think you're making a mistake. Nobody is depending on anybody. I think the point here is have an open door to anybody who wants to talk, right? And hold on, listen, hold on and listen. And again, this is not it is not incumbent upon Tchiroma to give us freedom. You talked about firepower, and you are very much right. But you also have to realize that at the end of the day, firepower or not, everything ends on the negotiation table.
The people to the table. The fire will bring the people to the table. Nothing else. La Republique is just like iguana. They can never hear.
You are correct. Never. You are correct. Again, it boils down to the negotiation table. What if you get to the negotiation table before the firepower? Doesn't that? No, I mean, if you have, listen to me. What if you have a benevolent leader who says, I don't want this war going on anymore. So many people have died. Our soldiers too.
There must be war.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Why don't you go to the bush? How old are you?
We are in the bush.
Okay. when you say we are in the bush, that doesn't mean you. You say we are in the bush. You got to be realistic, okay? At the end of the day, firepower or no firepower, you end on a negotiation table, and we are not saying, and we are not saying, hey, let's just take a break and see what happened. Absolutely not. We keep the firepower and also follow the diplomatic process. That is the way it goes. Thank you for the call. All right, Ato, please, 1 minute, and then we'll move on to my next guest.
Oh no, it's very interesting. I don't have anything to add. I am happy the debate has started, and tomorrow is game day. Day one of a series of things, and hopefully people show up with this same passion. And after His Excellency leaves the town hall meeting, hopefully we stay and continue this discussion. And we are happy to continue organizing these town hall meetings for our people after this to keep this debate going. But thank you very much, Chris. I think this was very important.
Thank you for coming on. Again, the time is 11 a.m. Eastern, tomorrow 10 a.m. Central, and 4 p.m. Amber time. That is the time.
Correct.
Look for the link out there and participate. Again, we're going to be running it also here live on ABS. Thank you for coming in, sir.
My pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will take a brief time out for a commercial, and when I come back, the last days of Ambassador Henry Folsom. The last days of Ambassador Henry Folsom, buried in his home, at his home in Boya. Take a look. All right, I will come back to that. Stay put.
The workplace is changing faster than ever before.
Whether you work in healthcare, education, law, content creation, insurance, real estate, human resources, accounting, or nursing, AI is becoming part of your everyday job.
The question isn't whether AI is coming. It's whether you'll be ready. At Certified AI Academy, we teach practical AI skills through live, interactive classes led by experienced instructors. Learn the tools employers are already using today. Invest in yourself. Learn AI now, or someone who already has learned will be used to replace you. Certified AI Academy is now enrolling for our July session. Seating is limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. Call or text 346-271-0711 today and secure your future. Grab your opportunity now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put. And at this moment, I bring you update to a story that I handled a few months, I think about a month or so ago, talking about the passing of Ambazonian patriot, Ambassador Henry Folsom. Many people were waiting for a wake keeping or a wake keep here in the U.S., precisely in the Maryland or Washington, D.C. area where he lived and died. Apparently, the family did that, but in a very private way, He died on March 26th, I believe it was March 31st, in the Washington, D.C., Maryland area. Then his corpse was moved to Cameroon in June, and he was buried on June 27 in Boya, his compound in Boya. When he lived, he loved calling it a palace. Let's take a look at what transpired there.
Six feet. They said they bring them. Say roughly they won't bring some. Six feet. Six feet. They said they bring them. Say roughly they won't bring some. Six feet. Careful.
Waste any time. So please, you can start going ahead. Along the byway. Please, the rest of the mourners can start moving on because we want to catch up with the time, so we would not waste any time. So please, you can start going ahead. The byway. Please, the rest of the morning.
All right, all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I was going to be joined by the Reverend Taku Moses, who was there when Ambassador Fosun passed, to give us a story of what happened and how the funeral was all handled from the USA to Boya, and the controversies involving his family demanding or asking for 40 million francs from the La République du Cameroon government for the burial. Unfortunately, I can't have him connected. If he should, in the course of this, I will bring him on. In the meantime, I will go to the phones, hoping that Reverend Moses can connect. Hello.
Yes, good evening, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Germany. Permit me
chip in my own small contribution today.
Sure, go on, please.
Now, I will cite two examples. I will take the Soviet Union, or let me even start with the Ottoman Empire. You know, people that have lived under colonial occupation for a long time. Ambazonia, if I go back to the time of the Germans, 1884, it's 142 years. You had Germans, they came and went. You have the British, they came, went away. And then La Republique, we've been under La Republique for more than 62 years, 64 years counting. So at the time that La Republique seems to be crumbling, like we saw with the Ottoman Empire, when you break down the countries, they prepare themselves, they form their own countries. When the Soviet Union was breaking down, nobody was praying that a softer Soviet president should come and they beg freedom from him. No. When Yugoslavia was breaking down, Croatia break and go. Sarajevo, they break and go. The countries, they break, they prepare themselves, they are rallying themselves, they are mobilizing, they are growing their military capacity. You break, we will have to break out of La Republique by force. Even if we are talking about negotiation, you cannot negotiate from a position of weakness. We have to be strong. And we, as La Republique, they are getting into confusion. We, Chris Anu, Comrade Mutia, Comrade Bob Gahamoni, who was there, all of us, we should be rallying and finding how we shall break away. Because in that confusion, we will not only break away, maybe we should be so powerful that we will take over a lot of those countries that they have established in Ambazonia. We grow our military capacity and even consider colonizing them too. We should not be waiting.
Okay. What's the next point?
Man, he will be the softer guy who will give us, who will colonize us a little bit with more compassion. No, we are not waiting for a soft colonizer. We have to break loose. And as La Republique is agitating, as they are in confusion, as they are in chaos, our moment is coming. That is what we should be looking at and coming together to be prepared and ready for that moment. That's my contribution, Comrade Creed.
Thank you
very much for the
hold on there. You make a very good point. But the problem is our people always talk good. They have incredible, wonderful ideas. But then when it comes to putting their money where their mouth is, you hear a lot of excuses, a lot of stories. When you're talking about firepower, we all agree to that. In fact, we have all been looking for this moment where there is confusion in La Republique du Cameroon, and we do exactly what you have suggested. But those voices in the bushes, as I say, they're not going to do that with their hands, with bare hands. That is the problem with our people. Left to me, you know what, we take it by force.
Totally agree with you, Comrade Chris, and that is exactly where I look up to people like you to be very active. Like I saw our great barrister frustrated. We should be rallying ourselves together now. You have the power to rally Ambazonians again, and when we are rallying and growing our capacity, we are getting ready for D-Day.
I would say, don't wait for us or for Chris Anu or for whoever to gather somebody somewhere. You are right there in Europe. Chris Anu is not going to come to Europe to gather Europe. Europe can gather Europe. All it takes is one person rising up and saying, hey, comrades, we got an opportunity here. We got a moment here. Let's rally around and see how we can get ground zero to what it was in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. We can do it. La Republique has no central force at this moment. You are very much right. Again, is the resources.
You are a journalist, you are a public figure. Some of us could rally on the background and rally in the bushes. But you are a public figure, and I think that at this moment when we are just maybe softening our position, or talking to La Republique, bring Eric Chinje to come and tell us, it's just one piece of territory, we are one people, we are this, let's pray there should be no civil war in Cameroon. Maybe somebody, by God's grace, somebody will come and then they'll get a little bit of freedom and give us. It is, I think what you said is totally right, but we Ambazonians, we have to rally and prepare for the opportunity. When La Republique is in chaos, we must break.
All right. Thank you.
We can do it together, Comrade. And I know.
All right. Call me later, please. Off the show. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that. Because there are things we can't say on public television.
Okay. Have a nice evening, Comrade Chris.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
sir. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think the Reverend Moses has finally connected to tell us what happened to Ambassador Henry Fossum. Reverend Moses, can you hear me, sir? I don't see you on camera, but I see your camera. Reverend Moses, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
All right. Okay. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you, my junior brother. How are you?
I am good by His grace and His grace only. You look so sumptuous over there. You are eating really good. I see all your jaws and your shoulders, and even your belly is looking like a little hamburger there. What is happening there?
No, I am here mourning my Moses who has gone home, and I am mourning here alone with the angels and with the Holy Spirit. So I have nothing disturbing my peace other than prayer and prayer and prayer. So thank you for making this program for our departed Moses.
So, tell us here, nobody knows how Ambassador Fossum died. We only learned he was dead, and I was actually talking to somebody in his family, hoping that a wake keep was being organized for the USA in Maryland. But at the end of the day, I only learned the corpse was in Cameroon for burial. What was going on? Because I mean, you are a key witness here because you lived with him till the day he gave up.
Yes, I am. I think we call it sincere witness. I've been with him for a good number of years, and even at the dying minute, I was with him for a good number of months before he died. In actual fact, the testimony is that he didn't die because he had any terminal disease. No, he had no terminal disease. It's just the spirit of worry and the spirit of anger that brought him the ability to be sick. Oh, he was sick. Who is this?
You're okay. Your camera is okay. Go ahead. Go on.
Oh, somebody is disturbing my peace. I'm not seeing you.
Okay.
So he died not because he was sick. He had no sickness of old people like cancer, like prostate, and so on. No, he died just because of the spirit of worry and anger that brought him all the pains that he was passing through. So if somebody tells you that he died of this,
the camera is cutting your head. Bend it. Okay, that is better. Yes, go on.
If somebody tells you that he died because of this sickness, because of that sickness, that person is lying, because his medical record did not show any terminal sickness. Other than that, he was just growing pale because of anger and unforgiveness. So when I came from Texas and stayed with him, I prayed with him only on that. And because it was already too late, also taking into consideration his age, the Lord allowed him to go home. But he forgave.
How old was him?
Yeah, I think the age they put 86, I think is more than that, because his classmates taught me in in primary school. So the man should be about 90 something. He lived long. He lived long enough. But in the papers, it showed that he died 86. No, 86 years old. I don't think, yes, 86. But I think that's the age of working age. If it is the age of the village, it should be more than that.
Yeah. I see the funeral, as you can see in the images there, the funeral procession in Boya, quite a handful of people there. Tell us who was there from the Southern Cameroons movement at his funeral in Boya.
In actual fact, the team that was on the ground were real followers of him, of SCNC. And the young men there mobilized themselves, both from Bamenda, they came all over. SCNC was resurrected. And they did what they could do, because they were taking pieces of advice from me here. Daddy, what do we do? Pastor, what do we do? I said, do like this, do like this. And they were there in their numbers. They did all that, the manual labor that was supposed to be done. They were not just Bangwa people. No. They were young men who were of the SCNC movement.
Okay. Now tell me, there was
wrong. I'm not.
You are okay. I can see you are okay.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I can see you here. Now, there was this controversy surrounding the family demanding 40 million or asking 40 million francs from the Cameroon government for his burial. And it caused a lot of noise on the social media. This is a man who was an ambassador for a year. I mean, Ambassador Fosun was not poor. And this is a man who was chased out of the country by the regime. And people were wondering, how could the same man the family be asking for money, millions, for his funeral?
Okay. You see, Chris, when one person does a mistake, an error, it will affect the totality of the family. You see, when one head, if somebody in the family does an error, it will affect the whole family. That error, that letter that was sent to the government was not a family orchestrated letter. It was one daughter in England who sat on her own accord without consultation with other daughters and brothers of the man and wrote that letter on behalf of their mother and sent that letter to the government. It was not a unanimous decision. Ambassador Fosun does not lack money for his burial. The man is blessed with children who are well placed.
I mean, some of them, I think there's one who's an ambassador too, right?
Yeah, the ambassador girl in Liberia died.
Yeah.
That's the first daughter. Yeah, she was poisoned by an enemy. She was ambassador in Senegal. She died. But the second is a doctor in Uganda, married to one of the Zakfomus. And then there are other ones, yes, the man had so many children. So that behavior of that daughter of yours, it was even detested by many of the family. Now, why did you write this letter knowing that this man is an enemy to the government?
Yeah.
And secondly, his daughter, his own biological daughter, is in Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Where?
He's a senior officer there. Yes.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs in La Republic?
In La Republic. And it's a senior staff. She didn't know. Even if his body was not to be brought in, she was in a very important position to
know.
solicit for her to know. So he didn't. She didn't. It's this rowdy one in England who wrote that letter, put the mother's name and sent to the government. But thank God that the government got it and never did anything. And they allowed the cops to come in. They never gave even $10. So we give God the glory because La Republic did not. I mean, how can you ask for money from your enemy? No, they didn't.
I mean, it was very strange, and it was a big deal on the social media. I read lots and lots of comments condemning it, and even if he was not an enemy of the government, for a man of his caliber, I mean, why would they ever be asking for 40 million francs? Was it? I mean, people were like,
no.
Was it going to resurrect him back to life or what?
That Papa leave that thing, leave that talk. That girl did whatever she did. I asked the whole family because the whole family knows me, all the children. They know that I'm the right hand supporter of their father, and I told all of them to forgive that daughter of his who did that. But the thing has died because the burial went well. They never begged money from anybody. He was well placed. You have been to the house where he was staying. He was not staying here like a puppet. No, he was staying. He was well placed. He had money coming from home from his assets. He was living well. He had nothing to regret.
Did Ambassador have a will?
About the will, I don't know because he didn't. When I came, I asked him about the will. He just kept quiet. I don't know whether he left the will, but one of your Liberian Papa is here, who is his closest collaborator. You know, Ambassador is a single child. I call him Isaac. You know, he's a single child. He has no brother, no sister, no uncle, nothing. I think his closest collaborator was me when I came to his life completely in 1999. And I have been moving with him up and down for this course. We went to Abuja. He came back. When he was being threatened to be killed in 2005. By then, I had escaped to Nigeria, and they carried him to the U.S. So, and then I came 2006, and I joined with him, and I thank God for the relationship I had with him. I monitored him spiritually, and I taught him the Bible. Before he could go to be with the Lord, he was already born again. So
I guess the successor is not known yet, huh?
Yeah, the successor is, as he told me who was going to be the successor. Also, I saw in the realm of the spirit, in a dream, as I was here with him, I saw him in the compound in Boya, and I saw two graves in front of him. One was covered grave, and then one was open. And he was standing near the one that was open, and with a son. And the son I saw with him is the son that he had shown me that this is a boy who is very close to him. Is his first son. So
and where is his first son?
He's here in the U.S. in Atlanta.
Okay.
You can see him there. He's the one that was very instrumental in the peaceful burial of their father.
Okay.
He was the one who took the corpse home.
Okay.
Yes. Daniel, he is here.
The wife went home with the corpse?
Yes, the wife went home with the corpse with the other small daughters of the second wife.
Okay.
So that is exactly what happened. I thank God he's in heaven because he's appeared to me again 2 times, well dressed. This time he appeared to me. You know, he was a teacher. So this time he told me, he said, put up a blackboard. I want to teach. So I saw him very handsome, tall man. So I put up a blackboard for him to teach. And it was as if we were in a church that he wanted to, he took, Papa, leave it. I don't want to cry because you are talking, I can cry. Because I suffered with this man all through. Even at the dying minute, he was still investing for the struggle. He appeared to me now, I was crying that he didn't complete the assignment that was given. Then I told him, I said, Papa, don't worry. We will complete it. Don't worry. Don't worry. So he's with the Lord. He's with the Lord. He's with the Lord, my brother.
Well, you did your part, and he finished his own assignment, as we say in religious circles. He is gone, and a new generation is on board to continue the work that some of them started.
Yes. You see, one thing I am crying is that of his sincerity. Do you want to see a man who is honest? That man was honest to a fault.
No, I
and
know
I want
for
to give
sure.
this testimony.
Fosun was honest and straightforward, and he will speak truth to power without blinking.
Yes. The man was honest to a fault. You know, back in his school,
he was equally very smart, very intelligent, a real diplomat.
Very intelligent.
I won't forget this. Also very emotional. Very emotional. I remember when Field Marshal was killed. I visited him, I think about a month later, and he wept. He literally wept in front of me for the killing of Field Marshal. And I mean, being a little boy, I mean, vis-a-vis his age, I just sat there. I couldn't imagine what to do. But that is what he was. He was also one person that Sisiko Ayok Tabe believed in a lot. I remember a visit to, I think it was to the Congress. Sisiko was invited to Congress, I think, and he had to make a presentation, and he thought about going there with Ambassador Fosun. When they got there, Sisiko said, and he thought if anybody should speak, it should be Ambassador Fosun. And so he allowed him to speak, to address the delegation, the committee that was there. He said, if that was the closing story for Ambazonia, the closing story, or the sale, the closing sale for Ambazonia, then Ambassador Fosun made it. That was who he was, and he made it very, very emotionally.
You know, there are people and there are people. God produces people. That was a Moses indeed. A man who they forced him, his friends in the civil service forced him to register himself in occult groups. He refused. That is one of the things I hold him very high.
Yeah.
About them, which you know, them, they were all Rosicrucians. They tried him to be registered, he refused. And as an ambassador, La Republique came to him and asked him to be registered to be Freemason. The young man brought a form for him to sign to be Freemason. He told the young man that he's not signing. that his promotion is always from God. So you can see a man who loved God so sincerely by faith until when we met that he saw the type of lifestyle that I was producing. I was asking a lot of questions, and I showed him in the Bible. As you see him here, he was reading the Bible with his children. You see, Catholic people don't read Bible, but he became a Bible student with his children here in the house. So I want to thank God that the Lord opened his eyes and he will see heaven and he will see visions. So when this anger thing and I don't want to mention the reason why he was angry and unforgiving. They all came from family circles. So let that be. I only came and pleaded with him and asked him, forgive. And he forgave. I don't want to elaborate on who offended and so on. No, that's private family matter. So I'm happy that he's in heaven because he went to heaven. I know he went to heaven. He died in my hands with the wife at 10:30 on the 31st. Only 2 of us
10:30 a.m. or p.m.?
No, 10:30 p.m. in the evening.
Okay.
He gave up the ghost in our house. There were some videos. A video I made, I was feeding him. He went out. Then the second wife came from Cameroon and came and met me, and she took over the feeding, the cleaning. Grace, don't allow me cry because I loved that man. A man who refused 2 billion to sell out the SCNC, to abandon SCNC chairmanship. Jacques Chirac asked Bia to give him a bribe package of 2 billion with any post of his choice except the presidency, from prime minister right to parastatals. He refused the bribe package. That was when his life was in danger. I want to tell you why they wanted to kill him, because he refused the bribe package. They did not want to kill him because of SCNC. No, because he refused the bribe package. How can France give you 2 billion euro, not FX, euro? And he refused it. You see,
Do you let the public ever pay his pension? Because I know at a point in time they confiscated it.
Okay, that he told me, most of his secrets, he shared them with me, and I know them very profoundly, very sincerely. Because he refused to take that bribe package, and because Jacques Chirac asked Bia to bring him back to the civil service, because they had retired him early enough. They asked him to come back, he refused. Then they worked his pension and gave him, while he was taking the pension, they had to cut the pension again. They cut the pension and was giving him whether 1/4. But thank God that he had his assets left and right, and he has his children. Even this house, the children were helping to pay the mortgage of this house. So it was comfortable. It was comfortable. So whatever you do, that's why you see your last program now, the program you just had before this one, with that young man about town hall. I was just listening and I said, look at a man who was Minister of Communication and said there was no Anglophone crisis. And now that he has been robbed of presidency, he's calling town hall for Southern Cameroons. Those are the type of things I pray without ceasing. Because anyone who will want, let me share this with you, my junior brother. Anyone, I've been in this struggle as Aaron holding the hands of Moses. Anybody who will want to say anything contrary to our freedom, is an enemy to our struggle. Because the Lord told me that Southern Cameroons is to him as Israel is to him. So anything short than total liberation, total freedom, total sovereignty is not the will of God. The will of God. He said, I cannot do anything to the earth without informing my servants, the prophet. He has told me what he needs us to be, and I've prayed. And I've prayed, Chris, if it does not happen, then let that God that I serve, who called me and asked me to abandon everything and stand in the gap for my people, like Daniel. You know, I had explained myself with you where you came from the state that you came to Houston. Nothing, absolutely nothing, no matter the grammar that people are talking, anything short than freedom is not going to work. That's why the meeting you had about AAC3, let me tell you and tell you categorically, I have already prayed and canceled that meeting. AAC3 was also initiated by Cardinal Trumi and the moderator of Presbyterian Church. They wanted to hold AAC3. I called heaven and it didn't work. So there is nothing, absolutely nothing that you academicians, you with big grammar, that people can think that you can say and it will change. Except I'm not called. Except I'm not called.
All right.
Except I'm not called to stand in the gap for my people.
Time is so much against us.
It's good
here.
that when I'm talking spirituality, you understand, because at least you are a Pentecostal worshiper. So if I'm talking about spirituality, you understand.
I get
understand.
It.
So yes.
I get it. Unfortunately, we're out of time here. Thank you for coming on the show.
No, it's okay, Papa. I want to thank you very much. Feel free, Chris. There are a lot of things I want to share with you in private, and if you have time, you can put this. You can anchor one of the programs, and we will clear them. Okay. You see, there are a lot of things our people are doing that they don't even get themselves prepared. The boys in the bushes are fighting a very serious war.
All right,
but
we'll stay in touch.
Don't know.
We'll stay in touch.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank
you.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time here. We're going to call it a night here, and I look forward to coming back on Monday. With another spirited conversation. So please stay put and make sure you go ahead and hit that bell, notification bell, and the subscribe button so that every time we are live, you get notification. Thank you for being part of the broadcast tonight, and good night.
The workplace is changing faster than ever before.
Whether you work in healthcare, education, law, content creation, insurance, real estate, human resources, accounting, or nursing, AI is becoming part of your everyday job.
The question isn't whether AI is coming. It's whether you'll be ready. At Certified AI Academy, we teach practical AI skills through live, interactive classes led by experienced instructors. Learn the tools employers are already using today. Invest in yourself. Learn AI now, or someone who already has learned will be used to replace you. Certified AI Academy is now enrolling for our July session. Seating is limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. Call or text 346-271-0711 today and secure your future. Grab your opportunity now. The workplace is changing faster than ever before.
Whether you work in healthcare, education, law, content creation, insurance, real estate, human resources, accounting, or nursing, AI is becoming part of your everyday job.
The question isn't whether AI is coming. It's whether you'll be ready. At Certified AI Academy, we teach practical AI skills through live, interactive classes led by experienced instructors. Learn the tools employers are already using today. Invest in yourself. Learn AI now, or someone who already has learned will be used to replace you. Certified AI Academy is now enrolling for our July session. Seating is limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. Call or text 346-271-0711 today and secure your future. Grab your opportunity now.